Ride a cock horse to Banbury Cross to see a fine lady upon a white horse. With rings on her fingers and bells on her toes, she shall have music wherever she goes. Ride a cock horse to Banbury Cross to see a fine lady upon a white horse. With rings on her fingers and bells on her toes, she shall have music wherever she goes.
Ride a cock horse to Banbury Cross to see a fine lady upon a white horse. Rings on her fingers and bells on her toes, and she shall have music wherever she goes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of The Puritans. Now, as you can probably tell from that nursery rhyme, kind of famous for Banbury Cross. Now, Banbury was a small little town just off the M40 that I kind of grew up in. It was my local town, as it were. I kind of was born in between Banbury and Northampton. So Banbury was a place I got my first job. I worked at Gap and also worked as a bartender at what was the Sound Exchange at that time period. Long time ago, so I have a bit of affiliation to the town, and I thought, hey, why not? I want to do a lower league challenge beyond the current 7 tiers, and I want to try and take over a team. Why not Banbury United? Now, originally I was going to do AFC Russian Diamonds, but there was already a fantastic lower league save going on YouTube, so instead, we're going to take over as manager of Banbury United instead. Now, this save is going to be a typical kind of like stick with one club, try and build them up from the lower reaches up high as we possibly can. Obviously, I would love to be able to say we can get Banbury United in the Premier League one day, but we are a long way from that. So, with that in mind, welcome to the save, everyone. Let's go take a look at the club. It's going to be more of an introduction episode, and yeah, we could probably take on Oxford, actually. Yeah, we'll take on Oxford in the first game, just to try and make things a little bit more interesting. But the next episode, which of course will come out tomorrow, will be the first of the season in the Evo-Stik Southern Premier Division. Currently 8th tier, just one below the Vanarama Regionals, which has come standard in your FM database. So these are the teams in the division. There's actually a lot of big teams in here. Basingstoke, for instance, Farnborough, Hereford, obviously they're going to be favourites to go up, I think. Weymouth, Merthyr Tydfil or Tidfil, Kings Lynn, Kettering Town. There's some really big team. Gosport, they've been in and around the regional divisions quite some time. So it's going to be a very tough division to get out of. And we're currently predicted to finish 11th place in the table. So a mid-table side have taken over, which, you know what, that isn't too bad. It's a pretty good starting point. And looking at our squad, we got some nice pieces. Speaking of our squad, let's go take a look at that real quick. Now, I did tick the box. This is add players to teams, just because there are a lot of teams in this database that I'm using. I'll put the link for that in the description below, that don't have real players in them, or didn't have enough players to make up a squad. So that's why you're going to see a lot of regens in here, such as Adam McGee, or probably one of the best young players of the squad, Alan Desane, who is obviously a centre midfielder here. 6'3", but you'll see a lot of regens of that on our team and obviously other teams as well. So, moving forward, I do plan to try and grow and develop some of those younger talents, these regen players, but obviously take all the ability ratings with a grain of salt. My assistant manager isn't the best in the world at judging a player potential or ability, so I'll just take everything like this in a grain of salt. But let's take a look at some of the key players in the squad so we can try and understand who we're going to build around. First and foremost, Jake Finch. This guy is actually really good. Even for the next, he's probably playing maybe two divisions below his current ability, I think. He looks like a Vanarama National League midfielder to me. Super versatile, 6'2". He's decent strength, decent pace. He's only 20 years old. Really good mental attributes for a centre midfielder. Determination, teamwork, work rate, marking, pretty good there. Tackling's good too. For a born midfielder, passing's an 8. He's got some really good base attributes, not to mention determination at 17. It's likely that he's going to grow and develop in the future. I can't remember who he played for. He used to play for Coventry. Yeah, Coventry. He actually made 16 appearances a couple of seasons ago for the Sky Blues when they were in League One. So the guy is a really good player, and obviously I'd love to keep hold of this guy for as long as I possibly can. We are a semi-professional club, which means he is under contract at least, so we haven't got to worry about that too much. And then who else do we have on here? Tom James looks like a really good left back as well. 28 years old. Used to play for Leamington Spa, or Leamington, I should say. Nuneaton, Watford back in the day. So yeah, I mean, good player. Played for quite a few different teams, but nevertheless, he looks like a really good, talented left back for this division. Got all those attributes, lots of 8s and 9s and 10s. Definitely a useful player to have. But unfortunately, we've also got another really good left back, Nuno Felix. Not quite as gifted by any sense of the word, as you can see, but still nice to have, I guess, 2 left backs of quality ability. Then we have Tom Winters, a left winger, also plays up top as well. I've actually had this guy a couple of times in FM 17 and 16. Respectively, from his time at Brackley and Oxford City. I've managed him in quite a few different teams, and he's not bad. He isn't bad. Brackley are actually, by the way, our local and fierce rivals, if you want to wear. So it'll be interesting if we do get promoted. If we end up playing them, that might be a pretty interesting little derby going on, a little rivalry, as it were. Then we have Charlie Horton, right back. He's kind of so-so, not too great there. Connor Madonna, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Attacking talent, could play anywhere across the attacking midfield and out wide. Lots and lots of pace, which is going to be important at its level, I think. It's going to be hard to try and develop a tactic or try and understand what this level of football needs. I haven't done one of these kind of saves in quite some time. So we'll have to see kind of like I can make the most out of it. I might change some of the attribute markings too, so give you guys a better picture of some of the kind of the gradings, because obviously this is graded at a top tier level, so anything like, you know, like 11, 12 is rated green, and then there's very good, etc. I'm probably going to change that to make it a little bit more colorful understanding, so you guys can see what I look for in a player at this level. After that, we got Ricky Johnson, 29-year-old. He's kind of a lump, 6'4". We got a big old-fashioned English target man. Definitely. Can also play centre half as well. No pace, tons and tons of strength though. Good jumping ability, heading ability is really good as well. Finishing, not so good though. 4 and a composure of 3. So I don't really expect him to score tons and tons of goals. Used to play for a lot of teams in the area. Woodford United, Hook Norton, Leamington. Again, you're going to see a lot of players that will play for multiple teams in that area, just because, well, you know, then they get released, they go and play at the team down the road. That's pretty much exactly what happens. All right, so talking about regens, top regens we actually have some really, really nice ones. Alan Dasani, obviously I mentioned previously, centre midfielder. I think a bit more of an attacking talent, to be honest with you, because his passing's there. His vision's not so great. Work rate's good though, teamwork's great. Determination, not so good. Have to work on that. Maybe I'll pair him up with someone. Flair is excellent. Decision making's good. First touch is good. Jumping reach 13, 6'3". He's a big guy, so he's going to win quite a bit in the air. Pace is okay as well for a guy that size. Strength will do some work, but he is young. He'll definitely get a little stronger as he grows up. Then we have Ben Parker, another left back. So that's 3 left backs that could potentially play for us this season. Then we have, who else here? David Sinclair. We're really lacking centre halves. I've noticed quality centre halves in this club. That's going to be the first thing I address. Goalkeepers and centre halves. Take a look. Our best goalkeeper is a young goalkeeper, 1.5 star, potentially a 5 star, Adam McGee. He's a backup at the very, very most right now. So Galloping in a right back. A goalkeeper. Right back, we're fine. As you can see, with Horton. Left back, James. We've got plenty of left backs for days. Centre halves, though, that's where we're really lacking. We've only got 2 centre halves, and our best one is only a 2-star rated. Again, a regen as well. Big guy, 6'7", but not really good enough. You're going to see tons of goals if him and Jamie Howard start at the back, and Jamie Howard isn't that good either. 6'4", another big guy. So we're going to win lots in the air. That's something I think will happen. But honestly, we're going to have to try and improve that, and pretty rapidly, because we've only got a week until the next to the opening day. Yeah, about a week till the opening day. So we're going to have to act really quickly in the transfer market, try and bring some players in. It might take a couple of weeks to sort the squad out completely, just because I decided to skip through preseason. I didn't see the point in playing through preseason at this moment. I want to get the save going, and I wanted to get into it as quickly as possible. All right, so looking at the squad, again, looks okay. We need some work, though. I do think we might have to bring in potentially another striker, because Pijan, he's okay. as a poacher. He's young. He could develop a bit further, but I don't really see him getting a lot of goals. Ricky Johnson, he's a target man. Again, you can't really do too much with him. He's a big lump up top. Midfield is actually, centre midfield is fine. I can definitely work with that. The wingers, they're okay. George Nash is okay as a backup alongside Connor, and then Tom Winters will start. But defence is definitely need a lot of work. Centre half, goalkeeper, definitely going to have to bring those in as soon as we can. So let's talk about the actual club itself real quick, just very, very quickly. Financial wise, we're doing okay. 1,500 currently in the balance right now. Budget wise, got no money to spend on players. Right now, we've got about £100 left to spend per week on the wage budget, so not a lot of wiggle room regarding players coming in and out. So I might try and get myself an affiliate like Coventry or Northampton, just some teams around us to send us some young players our way to try and help us at least get through the season until we can sort some contractual details out, because not a lot of money to spend. 1,300 in wage budget really isn't a lot to work with. Staff wise, take a look at the coaching team real quick. My assistant manager, Andy Sinnott, not too bad. Good attacking, good working with youngsters. Judging ability and potential 5 each. Not the best, but he'll do for a season. Then we have Mick Byrne, who actually is a pretty decent coach, honestly. Can do attacking, defending well. Tactically, he's pretty good. Technical is good. Working with youngsters, excellent. So that helpful when interacting with some of those young talent that we've got already. Discipline, 12, which is good. Determination. So overall, I mean, he's actually not a bad coach. I'm pretty happy to have him on board. He used to coach at Forest Green for a wee bit. All right, so what else we got? Coaching, medical team. We got a head physio, Terry Calwell. 5 out of 20. That's pretty much what you're going to find us. So we're not going to get much better than that, if I was going to be honest. I see scouting team. Perry Weeks is the only scout we have so far. He's a regen scout, judging ability and potential 3, so that's not good either. So I'm going to have to try and bring in maybe another scout to try and supplement his weaknesses. I definitely can't afford to let him loose, unfortunately. That costs too much money. So just got to keep him for a season, and then we'll restructure a lot of that. So, all right. So, as I mentioned, we do take on Oxford United today in a friendly, first and foremost. First day in the club, and we have a friendly to take care of. So, you know what? Let's go into this game, shall we? I think the tactic I'm going to use to start off with, just because we have a lack of options up top, and we've got plenty of decent centre midfielders. What I might do is just do a 4-4 kind of 4-5-1 formation or 4-3-3, depending on how you look at it, and try and maximise McDonough and Winters on the wide positions, and then I'm most likely going to have Ricky Johnson play up top as a target man, potentially on support just for the time being. Again, I'm not quite sure. First day in the club, obviously. I've thought about it a little bit, but not overly so. And yeah, that'll definitely come out like that. On the left wing, yeah, Tom Winters, that's perfect. Both can play on support. I'm going to basically, I don't know, I'm thinking about trying to organize a kind of a possession-based tactic. This game could be an absolute disaster, though, if we don't get off to a solid start. Jack Finch can definitely be a ball-winning midfielder. He can support. He's definitely is imperative that he plays centre midfielder there. Desan, who's pretty good, actually. I'm going to have him an advanced playmaker. Again, I talked about him being an attacking creative talent, and I think he could do a good job for me, and I think he'll grow into the role as well. But unfortunately, that does leave us dilemma, though, of not having anyone play as a defensive midfielder. So I might have Desan back there as a deep line playmaker, and then pick someone else here. Darren Pond, he's an experienced guy, plays centre midfielder, play on defend as well. We can play a bit defensively at the beginning. Again, this is going to be a lot of working things out. The first couple of weeks could be kind of a struggle if we're not careful. Yeah, Horton, it's perfect. Fullback on defend. Tom James, defensive fullback. That works just fine for me for right now. And then obviously very little options at the back there. So we got Sinclair and Howard. Adam McKee can start in goal. And I've noticed at this level, teams tend to play a little bit of a high line, and we get caught with balls over the top because it's very much Route 1 football. So I'm going to play a slightly deeper line. I was going to go deep. I'm going to do slightly deeper. And I'm actually going to do a very, very possession-based tactic. So it's going to be lower tempo. It's going to be shorter passing. basically pass the ball out of the fence, try and utilize our centre midfield as best we can, and then work the ball in the box. I don't want it kind of lumped in there. Yes, Ricky Johnson is there. He's kind of the out ball, but I want them to take their time getting the ball in the box. All right, so I'll let Lewis on the bench. We'll just do this real quick. I could have a couple of options for centre-half on in the reserves, potentially. Well, Will Davis could potentially be a decent anchorman for me. He looks a promising young player, doesn't he? Josh Quain could also look like got a bit of potential. Who else we got here? Jason Bibbo. Apparently, he's actually a little bit better than McGee. So, Andy Sutton, another centre half, Mark Gray. Again, all these are regen players, and I've got to get accustomed to them. Okay, that's fine. Midfielders, but that's some midfielders. There you go, beautiful. We'll do Adrian Swan as well, because he could play left back. So, all right. Excellent. We got a meeting to attend. I don't really want to do this. I'll join you guys on the other side of this. All right, actually, let's talk about the season expectations of country right now. Expectation is to avoid relegation, reach second qualifying round of the FA Cup, reach the first round of the FA Trophy, and it's not important how we do in the English Southern League Cup. So, all right, so we'll get to this friendly eventually. In fact, yep, here we are, up against Oxford United at home. Obviously, team close by us, only about like 15-20 minutes away. So going into today, we actually got a few players that are really, really tired. I probably shouldn't play. Charlie Horton, could do Hayes instead, couldn't I? What other options do I have? I'll play Seacole instead. Oh, Seacole's even more tired. It's not good, is it? All right, we'll start with Charlie, I guess, and then we'll bring him off. We'll bring him off half time. Desane is also struggling. Will Davis, again, he's no better. All right, tired players. I remember this. I remember this from now, actually. A lot of players get very tired at this level because of semi-professional, non-contract deals. They're not training every week. Players are tired. It's to be expected, I suppose. All right, here we go. They line up 4-2-3-1 formation, and there's a bunch of players in there that I'm sure a lot of you will recognize. Yeah, honestly, as long as, we could get absolutely destroyed today. We're playing at Spencer Stadium, by the way. Holds 6,000 people. We're only about 200 seats, so awesome. Yeah, the facilities are definitely going to have to get improved as we go up the leagues. If we go up the leagues, of course. But for now, we'll just focus on not getting absolutely embarrassed here, shall we? All right, first highlights. Long throw in, ball flicked on, and that was hitting the post on the outside. What I might do for this save, I don't usually do 3D highlights personally, so I'm actually going to go to 2D. And I'm going to do vector for the replays, but I think at least for this save going forward, we're going to use a 2D classic engine. Another chance here for Oxford. Been absolutely all over us. Yet to get a shot on target though, saying that. And it's still 0-0. So 25 minutes in, not conceded the goal. That's not a bad start. I'll take that. Here's Mo. It's a pain, though. Too much space at the edge of the area, and gets a shot off, puts it wide. There could be a problem of us sitting deep there, given too much space to shoot. There's a chance now. Ross Desane puts the ball in. Can't find anyone. The ball's cleared. Dan Parn's going to give chase. Now, he's an older gentleman, so he hasn't got much pace left in him, but he gets it back, so he does all right there, Pondy. Ball goes through here, 1-on-1 now. Mowatt's through on goal. That's a good finish, isn't it? Alex Mark getting the opening goal of the game from assist from Jack Payne. It was always coming. They had pretty much dominated the early portions of this game. As I mentioned, though, it's going to be tough because they're essentially a professional side that are fully fit, ready to start the season, and we've got half the guys that are 60%, 70% fitness-wise. So it was always going to be kind of difficult to do anything about competing in this game. All right, so it's been essentially all them. Whatever. Let's go defensive. Shorter passing, yeah, much lower. Could start playing a bit more narrow. Yeah, we'll do narrow. We'll sit a bit more narrow just to try and hold possession a bit more. Right now, we're hovering around the 46% mark. I'd like us to try and get into the 50s before the end of the game, if possible. They score a second goal. I think that's offside anyway. But as I was mentioning, I wanted to try and do a possession-based tactic for this save, I think. So we'll talk about maybe doing 5 in midfield. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I can pretty much work on anything. I want to be able to keep the ball, though. I think that's key for this version of Football Manager, personally. Let's give the assistant manager the team talk. We'll make some changes too, because some of these guys really aren't going to finish out the game otherwise. We can't afford to lose anyone at the start of the season. All right, so centre half, Mark Gray, Jamie Howard, Andy Sutton's perfect. Felix at left back. It's fine. Anchorman, Will Davis comes in. We can play a bit more of an anchorman role. Instead of Finch in midfield, we go Blackstock. Jacob Blackstock. I think he's brother of Dexter Blackstock. Used to play for Southampton. Could be mistaken, though. Anyone else on the bench we can bring on? Centre midfielder? Not really. Winger, though, we do have George Nash. He's an out-and-out winger. Plays right wing, left wing. Left winger, yep, we got Scott Taylor. And then up top, we can do something different. We can just do a poacher instead. All right. Perfect. Changes look good. Excellent. And then we'll start the second half with a brand new team out there. Corner kick, ball's whipped in, and Henry gets himself a goal. James Henry there, tap in there after the assist from Mike Williamson, their former Newcastle United centre-half. And, 2-0 down. Honestly, that was kind of be expected, though. I expected to get absolutely demolished in this game. Yet to have a shot on goal, though. That's a little bit disappointing. I expect to have at least a shot on goal. Here's Mowat, makes it 3-0. Mowat, not quite sure how you want me to pronounce that name, but nevertheless, it is 3-0 now to Oxford. And this is going pretty much as I expected it to. Ball whipped in, Hall at the back post. Solid save from McCallum, pushes out though, and Davis puts it into touch. Probably should have been 4-0 there. That was a good opportunity for the Oxford winger. Ball flicked on from Payne. Mehmeti gets on the loose ball. Here's Moet, back to Mehmeti, and he goes wide of the post. So, 18 shots to our nothing so far. 20 shots, I should say, to our nothing. Just trying to emphasize the gap and the job that's going to be ahead of me to try and one day compete with the likes of Oxford. It's going to be quite a struggle. This could be my most ambitious and most difficult save to date. I'm sure there'll be lots of ups. I'm sure there'll be lots of downs. Probably more downs than ups. But, that's how football management goes. We did get our first shot on target, though. So that's something to be special. That's a special occasion. But how football manager goes, especially at this level. Especially with the talent I have available to me. Half these players on regens, making their first appearance, 16 years old. And trying to use unfit players, 2.5 star, 1.5 star players to try and mold them into somewhat a decent side. I really can't underestimate how difficult this task is going to be for me. But it's fun. I like a challenge. This is why I'm doing it. If I didn't enjoy this kind of stuff, I wouldn't be doing this for you. I wouldn't be doing this for you, and I wouldn't be doing this for me either. They were pissed off by the team talk, but it doesn't really matter anyway. So there you have it. First game of the save as a friendly. We lost 3-0 to Oxford. We're going to put that behind us, and the next episode we're going to open up the season up against Kings Langley and of course Redditch. And then after that we'll try and get into a rhythm of possibly games every 4 or 5 games, and then we'll try and kick on the save from there. But I'm very excited to get this save going. I'm looking forward to it. I've always wanted to do a proper lower league management save beyond the current database for my YouTube channel. So this presents me the opportunity now. Thank you guys so much for watching the opening video. If you guys enjoyed it, please remember to leave a like on it. And if you want to see more videos by me in the future, please hit subscribe, turn notifications on. And thanks so much. If you have any advice on what players I should sign, tactics, stuff like that, please let me know in the comments below. It's going to be very, very open to you, the comment section out there. I want to interact with you more and more and more. I haven't really been very good at sticking with Football Manager 2018 saves this year, and I've kind of shot myself in the foot as far as channel growth regarding that. So thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next part. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.